She lit up the screen as a child, bright-eyed, full of life, and impossible not to love. Sophie Noida became a household name almost overnight. But behind the lights, the laughter, and the red carpets, there was a storm quietly building. And by the time anyone realized how serious it was too late. That Sophie's story isn't just about early fame or a promising career. It's about what happens when the world adores your talent, but forgets to protect your heart. Now let's take it from the beginning. Sophie Noida stepped into the spotlight in 2007, just 10 years old. Audiences met her as the sweet, energetic kid with a smile that could light up any room. She landed roles alongside Hollywood giants, Jessica Alba, Michelle Williams, and instantly captured attention. Behind the scenes, she was just as lovable. In interviews, she was playful, giggling about cartwheels and beach scenes. It was easy to forget she was a child living in a world designed for adults. Her early roles brought fame, but they also brought pressure. And that pressure only grew. Child stars often face an invisible enemy, the loss of childhood. While other kids were playing at recess, Sophie was memorizing scripts, attending fittings, and being managed like a brand. The industry had expectations. And Sophie? She tried to meet every one of them. That it's been said that fame doesn't change people. It just reveals what's already there. But for kids like Sophie, it doesn't reveal anything. It shapes them. The smile stayed on camera. But off camera, the cracks were forming. In 2015, Sophie stepped away from acting. There was no big announcement, no scandal. She just disappeared from the public eye. Fans noticed, but no one asked too many questions. She became one of those whatever happened to names that fade from memory. But behind that quiet exit was a storm nobody saw. Years later, we learned the truth. In an online obituary written by her family, it was revealed that Sophie had been battling personal demons for years. She was a kind and trusting girl, it read. Often this left her open to being taken advantage of. She self-medicated to numb the pain, trauma, and shame that had built up inside her, hidden from the world. The details remain vague. No names were mentioned, but the message was loud and clear. Sophie had suffered in silence. Some fans have speculated about what happened during her time in Hollywood. Reports suggest she may have experienced manipulation, even abuse, though nothing has ever been confirmed. What we do know is this: Sophie was hurting, and the world never noticed. Sophie Noida passed away at just 24 years old. Her family's message was heartbreaking. May her life not be in vain, they wrote. May we all learn from her brief time on Earth and do better. It wasn't just about Sophie. It was about every young star, every vulnerable person, every child who trusted the wrong people. In place of gifts, the family requested donations to RAINN, the nation's largest organization supporting survivors of sexual violence. That detail alone speaks volumes about what Sophie may have endured. She didn't get the help she needed, but maybe her story can help someone else. Sophie's death isn't an isolated tragedy. It's part of a pattern, one we've seen too many times before. The public sees the glamour, the glitz, the photo shoots. But behind that shine is often a lonely, confused child trying to figure out who they are while the world tells them who they should be. Fame gave Sophie everything, then quietly took it all away. Sophie's story hurts, but it also teaches that IT teaches us to look closer, to pay attention, to ask questions when someone fades into silence. That IT reminds us that being kind, being open, being trusting, those aren't weaknesses. They're qualities we should protect, not exploit. Maybe Sophie didn't get to grow up the way she deserved, but we can honor her memory by making sure other kids do. She was more than child star. She was a girl with dreams, with pain, with a heart too big for the industry that swallowed her. Sophie Noida's story isn't over because her memory lives on. In every kid who dares to shine, in every person who's suffered in silence and found the courage to speak up, in every viewer who now knows the truth behind the fame that we lost her too soon. But maybe, just maybe, her story will save someone else.